I'm Angelina Leopardo, a student at Carlmont High School, and I'm going to talk about the effect COVID-19 has on the brain. This is a really rare outbreak that most people won't see in their lifetimes, and COVID can have some serious long-term effects on cognitive functions. I selected this project because it's relevant information in the fast-changing world we are in right now. It's useful to know such information so we can be informed about the world around us. Before I start, I would like to add that this research is ongoing and cases vary, but scientists are seeing some serious long-term and short-term cognitive effects of COVID-19. So I'll start with the short term. So shorter attention spans. Research shows that COVID-19 patients have been found to have shorter attention spans. A study was done on patients who had COVID-19 and they scored lower on 2 out of 3 neurological tests than their counterparts who had not had COVID also took. So strokes and Guillain-Barré syndrome. COVID-related strokes are very common with those over 70, and silent strokes can occur, which are strokes that have no symptoms but can still cause damage. In a stroke related to COVID, the stroke destroys white brain matter, which is essential for focus and attention. Strokes can be short or long-term, depending on severity. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rare neurological syndrome that can be triggered by a viral infection such as COVID and can result in paralyzation. Anosmia and agnosia are very common with COVID and can linger for several months after COVID, which is a loss of smell and taste. This can occur with COVID because it can cause a short-term loss of function of cells in the olfactory epithelium, which causes changes to sensory neurons. Long-term effects. Serious inflammation can happen. The impact of inflammation that COVID leaves on the brain, such as a disruption of brain circuits, can resemble the impact of Alzheimer's. Brain fog. Brain fog is one of the most common long-term neurological COVID symptoms. Brain fog can't actually be seen on an MRI, but researchers believe it may be due to inflammation and the stress of having COVID. With brain fog, you may feel confused and unable to focus on daily tasks. Many COVID patients, regardless of length of COVID illness, reported brain fog. And I included strokes also on long-term because there's little research still, but strokes can be very impactful long-term. So why is this important? This is important because the brain is one of the most important organs in the body, and if there's a complication with the brain, it can impact everything. And any research on this new virus is important to know. Possible treatments. In some cases, patients are given small amounts of stimulants to treat COVID-related neurological problems, but in most cases, once your immune system is back to baseline, your brain will go back to normal. To summarize, COVID-19 has a range of effects on cognitive abilities. These can be short-term, such as difficulty paying attention, loss of smell and taste, or long-term, such as inflammation and brain fog. And these were my resources. Thank you for listening.
A round of applause for Angelina. Do any of the judges or any of the students, we probably have time for one question. Angelina, what inspired you to work on this project?
I really love neuroscience, and also I'm very curious about COVID since it's such a new virus. I think any research in relation to it is very interesting and good to know, in my opinion.
Well, it's good for all of us to know that at your age you're interested in neuroscience, so that's good to hear. Thank you so much, and really good job, Angelina. Thank you for your hard work.